I've recently underwent ACL reconstruction surgery and meniscus removal, and because of that, I've had a lot of time to reflect on what my definition of minimalism is. I'm in so much pain. There are many definitions of minimalism, ranging from a style or technique, as in music, literature, or design, that is characterized by extreme sparseness and simplicity, to minimalism being a tool to rid yourself of life's excess in favor of focusing on what's important, so you can find happiness, fulfillment, and freedom. And although these two definitions are talking about two different things, one being an artistic technique and the other being a lifestyle choice, they both share the same commonality of removing excess. But one thing I find unexplained in the second definition is, what is life's excess? In hopes of clarifying this, here is my definition of minimalism. Minimalism is a mindset that helps you remove things you're apathetic about in order to bring in more of the things that matter to you, whether that be your health, wealth, relationships, etc. So life's excess are the things you don't care about. This is especially challenging because you have your family, friends, society telling you what you ought to buy and what you should care about. But if you identify what you truly take to heart, then you can start living life on your own terms, living your own life. This is especially what's so powerful about minimalism, because you start to live life for yourself rather than everyone else around you. And it's not something you fully dive into. You're not a non-minimalist or a minimalist. There's a range, and you can apply it to different aspects of your life. Because each individual values different things, minimalism looks different when practiced by different people. But why practice minimalism? Here are some wise words from my minimalist friends. Less is more. Robert Browning. Too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want to impress people they don't like. Will Rogers, often mistakenly quoted as Will Smith. Minimalism is dope. Mahatma Gandhi. While there are many benefits of practicing minimalism, I've narrowed it down to my top 3. And the first is being you get to reclaim lost time. If you're a typical working adult, your day probably looks very similar to this. You put in 8 hours a day for work, taking an hour for lunch, factoring a commute of 1 hour to and from round trip. So that's 10 hours on a weekday specifically for work. And then you have to sleep for an average of 7 hours a night, which leaves about 7 hours in your day left over. And a lot of that time is spent on going to the grocery store, preparing your meals, self-maintenance, house care, responding to personal emails, and all of this other administrative stuff you have to do throughout your day. And after all of that is done, you don't have much time to leisure. And chances are you're too exhausted after all of this work to do something you really love. And so I think one of the biggest benefits of minimalism is that you get to make intentional decisions. I don't waste a lot of time on what clothes I'm going to wear the next day, or what ingredients I'm going to buy at the grocery store, and what meals I'm going to prep for the entire week. I make intentional decisions to eliminate time wasted. Having a lot of choices is great. It's awesome. You get the freedom to choose what you want. But by honing in on what you enjoy and what you know you like, you can get rid of everything else and skip the entire decision-making process, because you already intentionally decided already. Another benefit that goes along with reclaiming time is that minimalism reduces stress. Typically what you see with the minimalist is that they don't own as many objects as the average person. All the items that we have serve a valuable purpose. We don't just nonchalantly buy things because they're on sale, or add objects into our life that don't serve a purpose. The more things you have, the more you have to take care of. Every time you bring an item into your life, your room, or your house, you're gonna have to find a place to put it. And lots of times, that item is just gonna sit there for months or even years and never be used. This is why you'll find that a lot of minimalists harp on collecting moments, not things. The more things you have, the more you have to stress over about. And I think the third and biggest benefit of minimalism is that you're able to bring in things you love into your life. By stripping away the things that don't matter to you, it opens up room in your life to bring in things you value and truly enjoy. For me, the most important things in my life are my health, my relationships with other people, my finances, and being able to gather new experiences. Minimalism is a tool that gains power from its user. That would be you. It tailors to what you care about and value so that you can start forming this life that's yours and solely yours. That's my take on the definition of minimalism and the benefits of it. I know there are a lot of misconceptions about it, and I think the cool thing is that minimalism looks different for every single person. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that sub button, give this video a like, because it goes a long way to my ACL recovery. Or at least gives me an ego boost. And if you've made it all the way to the end, thank you for watching. I'm FamiLei. I make videos on money and minimalism for millennials every single week. And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.